Hey, this is something about, I don't believe in goal setting. That's what people say sometimes. But the thing is, we all do it. We all do it. Whether you think you do or you don't, we all do it. So if we're going to do it, let's get good at it. But there's a special way, a different way. But it's not a goal setting thing. This is not goal setting at all. This is not a goal setting workshop. This is how to get inspired to take action and reap the success of that action. Get your goals get your dreams to become reality and enjoy the richness of that success. Have a listen after this. Hey, this is the Personal Development Unplugged podcast, where we use hypnosis. Yeah, hypnosis. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Don't worry what it is. It's just a mass of processes that we're going to get you to change. Change to let go of anxiety, low self-esteem, and create massive supreme inner confidence. But that's confidence in your competence and competence in your confidence, which means you can do anything and be safe, to enjoy the world as it should be, with you at the helm, creating the life that you want. That's what this podcast is about. You and being the best you could be, singing from your real voice, aligned with your mission, aligned with your passions. That's what it's about. So if you're interested in letting go of anxiety, if you're interested in letting go of fear, guilt, all those blooming syndromes, imposter syndromes, and every little bit of the mind which is negative, then have a listen here, because we've got some wonderful processes and lots of good conversations between you and me to get us both thinking in such wonderful ways. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Just take the chance to have a listen.
This is Personal Development Unplugged with Paul Clough.
In simplicity, there is genius.
In simplicity, there is genius.
Hey, my friends, we're back again and dreaming. What a waste of time, isn't it? What a waste of time. And before I start, I want to give you an overview, a sort of overview. And my overview of this is, we all do it. Yes, we do. So let's get good at it. That's right. We all do it. Let's get good at it. And I'm not going to tell you what the and was. I'll tell you that at the end. You see, you hear people say, and I think sometimes they say it with a badge of honour, oh, I don't believe in goal setting. In fact, some people say it without a badge of honour. Say, I really don't believe in goal setting. And the thing is, to me, that's all BS. Because we all do it. Really, Paul? Do we really all do it? Now, you might be thinking, oh no, this is a goal setting workshop. And it isn't. You see, I did one of those way back, 2.5 years ago. October 21, #259. I actually called it, oh no, not another bloody goal setting workshop. And it wasn't. It was goal setting with a completely different way of looking at goals and how you do them. So that was a how. So this isn't one of those. Or is it? You see, here's my thoughts on this. Here's my thoughts. Everyone has a goal. They do. Some would say, but I don't, Paul. I don't have goals. Yes, you do. You do it every bloody day. Everything that you think of, you're going to do is a goal. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I have a goal to make a cup of tea. It's not the biggest goal in the world, but it is a goal. It's an aim in mind. That's all a goal is. It's an aim in mind. I'm going to get up and go to work. There's a goal. So we all do them. Obviously, I'm talking about the bigger goals, the bigger things that we want. But we all do goal setting of some kind. Just that we don't necessarily all do it formally for every type of aim in mind that we have. But we do. So let's agree that we all do it. And the thing is, if we got better at it, especially those big ones, then we could create things, couldn't we? And that's the and, by the way, and create. Let's get good at it and create. You see, where do goals come from? Where do they start with? I mean, some people would say they're like little things floating around in the ether, and they land on you like a little bit of inspiration. And you go, oh, that's something. Oh, that's an idea. So maybe they just start with that idea. But to me, that idea that you have, however you get it, whether it's from something you see, something you read, something you hear, to me, they start with a wish. Just a wish. I wish I could do that. I'd like to do that. And I like to do that was maybe a wish as well. And you think to yourself, I could do that. Or something like that. Yeah, you see, you would see them, wouldn't you? You start to see that dream or that wish. This is not a dream yet. It's a wish. And then after a while, when we think about that idea, and it tends to get a little bit more substance, it gets a little bit more emotional, as in there's a little tug, a little bit of motivation, a bit of, I want that. I think maybe they then become a dream. And even like a daydream, where you tend to think, but you think sometimes in pictures. You visualize it. And I know other people say, but I don't visualize, Paul. And that's BS too, because I know you do. Because when you're not trying to visualize things and you just visualize things, you visualize because you're lost in the moment. And you begin to dream about it. You tend to see yourself doing that dream or doing that wish, because this is the dream now. You see what you'll see. You see yourself over there, but you'll also see the type of people you'll be with maybe, or the effect, or the success. Oh, makes me a little bit more motivated. Maybe there's that smell or taste of success. All those senses which tend to come all together as a feeling. And that feeling gets stronger, doesn't it, as we keep dreaming. And dreamers are lovely, by the way. Dreamers are the people who create things. Well, they do if they do the next step. You see, you can just keep doing that. And you see, if you don't do the next step, they become like those old wishes of the past. You've had them. We've all had them. Where we sit back and look and go, oh, I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd carried on. I wish I'd just done or did a little bit more. I wish I had done something, because if I did, I'd be here, not there. Or I'd be there, not here. I'd be better. Maybe it's practicing something. Maybe it's just taking those steps, because even that dream, that wish, could be just to be better at something, can't it? I know I've had those. You had those? Me, sometimes when I was making a few notes of this, I thought, that's me, everything in me. But it's not. Obviously, everything is such a great big generalization. But there's stuff I'm still trying to get better at. And sometimes the things I want to get better at, wish I could get better at, I'm not necessarily doing the thing that would make me better. Or I'm not doing it consistently. And I think that's the thing, consistent action. You say, oh, don't talk about action yet, Cluffy. Because it's a little bit like, and I'm sure I've spoken about this, about different categories of your life, different contexts being like a wheel. And in that wheel, the wheel has spokes, and each spoke is a different part of that context. So maybe that context is health, and it could be gym, it could be eating, could be different sports. Could be going to the gym, could be walking. Socializing, could be your hobbies, your meeting, you're going to the pub, having meals with people, just talking with people, walking groups, all that stuff. They're like the different wheels. Now, there are stuff that we really wish we could get better at, and we don't. But you see, that's the thing where wishes tend to just disappear, don't they? When we don't take that consistent action. Don't talk about the action, Cluffy, not yet. Well, when we don't do anything about it, we just think, we just dream. And those dreams just fade away, just like the wishes. So that idea may still be there, but it's in the far distant background because something else may have come into our vision, as it were, our location or whatever. But, you see, there's a but to all of this. The but to the wish-I'd, the but to, well, if I had a done, I'd be so far. See, I don't like buts, but I love this but, because but negates everything I've just said. So there's a big but. I want to move those dreams on. So we've got that inspiration, that idea, that wish, and then we've had that dream and we've seen it and done and seen everything about it. And to move them on, I heard this. It's a lovely statement. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know. Whoever gave it to me, thank you so much. And it is, I am the architect and achiever of my dreams. Think about that. The architect and the achiever of my dreams. There's two roles in there, isn't there? One's the architect, the thinker, the designer, and the achiever. That's a doer, isn't it? Can't have one without, well, you can't have a result. If you don't have a design, a thinker, a thought, and put it into action, that's where the wishes disappear. And you need them both. I mean, there's a lovely process developed by a guy called Robert Dilts from NLP, and it's called the Disney process. And he studied it, he modeled it from Disney themselves, how they would go about putting their ideas from wishes to dreams and into reality. And they'd do this lovely process where they'd start off with the dreamer and they'd give the work to do to the dreamer. Okay, you got the architect there, haven't you? And that dreamer would just be allowed to dream. And they would go so wide and far. There was no restrictions on their dream. No restrictions whatsoever. And they would come up with a wonderful idea and put it forward as saying, this is the dream. And from there you'd have the realist. And the realist would then go, okay, well, what can we do? Because we have to be a little bit realistic, but not too realistic. Because who's to define what's realistic? Only you. So they would go through the dream, not criticize the dreamer, but they just look at the dream and see how they could make it into reality. So we're sliding into the doer now, aren't we? And then when they get that plan, just before they take action, they'd put it to the critic. And again, the critic would not criticize the realist. He would not criticize the dreamer. But the critic would go, can we make it better? Is this the best we could do? Is this really going to work? And then with those questions, they'd hand it over to the dreamer again. And the dreamer would then just dream how he can make things happen. The realist would then go, yeah, now we've got a firm plan. And the critic would be going, yeah, let's do it. And you see how that just all fits together. But there's only one, you have to on this process. Disney had people who were dreamers, people who were realists, and people who were critics. Different offices, different places. But for you and me, being by ourselves, you may have those people in your life if you're doing a project with other people. But if you're just doing your own ideas that come to wishes, to come to dreams, and you want to make it into your reality, you have to be the architect and the doer, so you can dream. Then be a realistic person. Be the realist. And a little bit of criticism to make it better. You see, that means it's still up in the air though, doesn't it? Because we've got a plan now. We've got a plan. So we've done the architect bit. We've done the thinker. We've done the designer. But what about the achiever of my dreams? What does that mean? Well, if you're going to achieve, it means you've got to do. The doer. And what does the doer do? The doer does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. She does. They do. But they take responsibility. We have to take responsibility. I have to take responsibility. And guess what? So do you. Because another saying, I don't know where it came from. It says, I'm responsible for the success of my dreams. And I think it was about that achiever. I'm responsible for the success of my dreams. I think that was the second part. I'm the architect, the achiever of my dreams. I'm responsible for the success of these dreams. taking responsibility. Because again, we've said it before, when you take responsibility, you're at cause. You are responsible for making things happen. No one else, no excuses. You make decisions. You take action. And the thing is, how do you do that? Well, we've got it all here. I believe we've got hundreds of podcasts in the Personal Development Unplugged podcast library, as they were, the back catalogue or whatever you want to call it. Everything is here. But, and no, not a but, and it comes to simplicity. Let's keep it simple. Everything is here. You can look for it. You can find it. There's loads of places elsewhere, but if you want it, it's here. But the simple things are you have to show up. Show up. Once you show up and start, then you have to show up every day. And when you show up, you have to be in the right state. What's the right state, Paul? Well, the right state starts off with an intention. What you intend to achieve. The plan you intend to carry out today. And you see, when you set your intention that way, you get the confidence. That's where confidence comes from, just by setting your intention. Because when you set that intention, confidence has to come with it. And that starts off being, well, that's the basis of setting your, or of showing up. But even then, showing up, you want to go a little bit more, don't you? You want to be in a better state of just setting my intention and having the confidence in that, because you might want a different emotion of that. And here's the emotion I believe would really put that to bed, to get you kicked off, to really get you moving. Because it's all about values. Is it important to you? And the thing is, we're not going to do a value exercise and go, what is important to me? We could do, but we're not. Because I want you to get into this. And to get into this, I just want you to find that emotion. And it's emotion of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Neville Goddard from years and years and years ago. The feeling of the wish fulfilled. Because when you get that feeling, you can act as if, because you've got it. That's the psychology and physiology of excellence. How do you do that? Well, I'll show you in a minute. But you see, let me show you how that's part of showing up, taking action, because it's all part of the 5 keys to success. But you start off with intention, which gives you the confidence. And then what are the 5 keys? We've done it so many times, I'm going to do it again. You have your goal, an aim in mind. It's that thought you have, that plan that you have. And what do you do once you've got that? You take action, which is showing up every day with the intention and the confidence. And when you show up every day, you take massive, inspired and continuous, consistent action, which is showing up every day and every time. You keep showing up and showing up. But as you take that action, things don't always go right. Shit happens. So what you have to do, you have to be aware. That's the 3rd step. Just being aware of what's happening. It's like taking a review, knowing what you're doing what you know. Am I in the right place? Am I in the right direction? Do I need to find more help? There's a well-formed conditions there of a goal. We've got that somewhere. And I think that's also in the hypnosis tracks. A hypnosis track of getting the well-formed condition of your goal, which will give you even more intention, more confidence. But as you're aware of what you've got to do, then you've got to have the flexibility, which is step 4, flexibility to change what you're doing, showing up but changing the action. Because if you keep doing the same thing, a bit of stupidity there, isn't it? Because you're expecting a different result by doing the same thing. No, we've got to change a little bit. And when you're having that awareness and that flexibility and taking all that action, you act as if, which is where we started, act as if, with that confidence from your intention, but also the psychology and physiology of excellence. How do you get that feeling? The act as if. Well, you get it from that feeling of the wish fulfilled. Here we go now. How do you get that feeling of the wish fulfilled? Good old Neville Goddard, years ago. What you do is, you imagine. You take a few minutes down, you see your plan, you know what you want. You know what the end and the aim in mind is. And you sit down quietly and just imagine having completed this goal. Successfully completed it just the way you want it. Make it even bigger and better because it's in your imagination. You can make it so rich. And when you can see yourself over there achieving and having achieved and done all that work, shown up every day, but now you have achieved the goal that you had. And as you see yourself over there in all your glory, all that success, all the confidence and the gratitude that comes from achieving what you've achieved, you float over into that you over there. Just imagine floating out of your body into that you. See what you'll see when you've got that success. Hear what you'll hear when you have that success. And feel the feelings of that success. And feel it and feel it and feel it. In fact, when you get that feeling, double it. Because you can. Make it more and more intense. And as you make it more intense, maybe anchor it by squeezing a little finger and a thumb together and saying a word that really empowers you and matches and connects with this particular goal. And you get that feeling so intense when you squeeze that little finger and thumb together. It's called anchoring. And say that word. You can now just let it go. And then do it again. Go back into that you over there. Do it again and feel that feeling. See what you'll see, hear what you'll hear, and feel that feeling of success. Squeeze finger and thumb together, that little finger and thumb together, and say that word. You've set the anchor, which means when you let that all go and you decide, today is the day I'm showing up. I'm going to make this happen. You think of your goal in mind. You set your intention. The confidence comes. You fire off that anchor. You say that word inside. And you get all that physiology and psychology of excellence and act as if you've already got it, which will give you the momentum. And that's the value. This is why it's important to you, because it's important to you to have this feeling. To have this feeling. Now, I know I just talked about anchoring, and I've talked about anchoring so many times before. Now, in a previous newsletter, I did a video which I actually just explained, very simple way to anchor. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up to the public. So what I'll do is I'll probably do another newsletter and open it up, or say on one of the longer podcasts, or maybe a 5-minute quickie where you find it, just so you can just see it as well. Because I think seeing a demonstration of very easy, how simple it is. But that's how you get success. That's how you get from, oh, there's an idea floating in the ether. Oh, it's landed in me. Oh, I get to think I really want that. Then I start to dream. And then I want to make it into a goal. And I want that goal to be achieved. So I become the architect and the achiever. Yeah. Let's summarize. Because I don't want your wishes to fade. I really don't. I want to support your dreams. I want to support you in getting what you want. I want you to have the most richest life possible. And I want you to infect and affect everyone around you with the results of those dreams. So you become the inspiration to others of what's possible. But they get to feed off your wonderful vibration of success, of confidence, showing what can be done. So I wish I'd. If only I'd. I don't want those dreams to evaporate. I don't want goals to fall flat on their face. So let's just go over it very quickly at the end. Just to summarize, get it in. First one, keep it bloody simple. There's nothing complicated in this. In simplicity, there's genius. All you have to do is set your intention. I've got this idea, become a wish. I'm going to put it into a goal. And my intention now is to achieve whatever it is. And commit to take responsibility. Total responsibility is not up to the weather, it's not up to the people, it's not up to the market, it's not up to anything, it's up to you. You take full responsibility. And in that you become the architect, the thinker, maybe the dreamer, the realist and the critic in all of that, to formulate that wonderful plan. And then you become the achiever, the doer. And as you do that and you're committed into those steps, because of those steps, you'll be reviewing them. Remember, being aware. But all the time, you'll be firing off that anchor of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So you can act as if, with the psychology and physiology of how it would be to having achieved your goal. Blessed Neville Goddard for the feeling of the wish fulfilled. There's another little thing that Wayne Dyer wrote. I love Wayne Dyer, you know that. He wrote, And I don't know which way he wrote it. I just from memory. It was either you won't see it if you don't believe it. Some people say, I have to see it before I believe it. No, you won't see it if you don't believe it. Or you will see it when you believe it. And when you believe it, it's all about intention. Everything starts off with intention. And you have to commit. Take responsibility. And the very last of the last, with all of this, you have to write that sucker down. Hopefully you've been making some notes about this, or you're going to have to listen to it again. But write that sucker down, write that goal down, write your plan. Write those steps, but find that feeling of the wish fulfilled first. Because that will inspire you to write the steps down that are really going to make a difference. Where do you write it down? On a piece of paper or in a puzzle book? The old Cluffy puzzle book. It's the most awesome thing you can ever have is your own personal baby of a puzzle book. And I could think about selling puzzle books. Say that right, Cluffy. But the thing is, a puzzle book, I'll tell you what a puzzle book is. It's a book with plain paper in, or lined paper. Or it can be just some bits of paper stapled together. It's just somewhere where you can think. And writing, I've been told, I listened to the other day, Jordan Peterson, writing is the way that you get to think. You put all those together, all those wonderful people are guiding us. They're giving us these golden nuggets that we're putting together now. And that's it. So when you look forward to receiving those little bits of inspiration or a little idea, you can make things happen. So when you hear somebody say, I don't believe in goal setting, you know it's bullshit. But when I go back to that meta thing that I was looking in on, is we all do it. So let's get good at it and create. What are we going to create? Create success for ourselves, create success for others, and make little old planet Earth a better place. So please stop. If you do think you don't goal set, stop fibbing, because we do. But where do we start? Dreaming. Let's dream and take that inspired thoughts to take action. Inspired to take action. I want you to be inspired to take action. Action to think. Action to dream. Become the architect, achiever. Because it's just important to me that you succeed. And if we can find ways to make it so easy but so enjoyable to succeed in life, that's it. We're done. And the note to myself, why is this important? Because it's me too. All got to take a little bit more responsibility and that action, inspired, consistent action. There you go. I hope that, first of all, it made complete sense. Probably didn't, but I'm sure it did a little bit. Hope you found all the golden nuggets. I hope it did inspire you, or does inspire you to do a little bit more, if it's only just to consider what I've said. Consider my thoughts, consider that little process, as it were. Come up with something better. And if you do, please email it to me, because I want to know too. Share it with me. I've shared mine. You can show me yours. And with that, we can grow. That's what sharing's all about, isn't it? So first of all, you'd email me that stuff, or email me your thoughts, critique to feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Thank you for those who are already doing that. And also talk about sharing. Oh, where did you get that from, Cluffy? Please share this episode. I know a lot of you are, but if you could do it every time. I know you're going to go, oh, really, Paul? Yeah, it makes such a difference when you do. It really does. And if you could share what you learn verbally, you will find that you know it even better. Or if you don't, you know where to learn again. Maybe you just write it down and learn even more. That's getting heavy, isn't it? No, just share. And thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And, well, have more fun than you can stand and fly.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.